all-new Dr. Phil.
My husband's mother is insane.
Let Dr. Phil decide how crazy I really am. Come on, Dr. Phil.
You have accused her of being involved in the murder of your son.
Do you think that bring me on national TV is going to change what I know?
Is she delusional?
Nicole is a liar. She has 5 names. She poisoned my son.
You said she gave Ty psychotropic drugs via his genitals.
That's crazy.
Or is her daughter-in-law
You said she used hoodoo and voodoo.
a devil woman?
Telephone 666, the address where they got married. 666.
Have you married the spawn of Satan here? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've hurt long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Both of you, take
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
5, 4.
This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Go, Dr. Phil.
How are you? Hey, guys. How are y'all? Well, all right. I want you to listen to this.
I just pray that nobody ever hurts your children because of all the people your wife's been set up and because of all of the horrible things she's done.
Well, my first guest, Ty, says this message was left on his cell phone voicemail by his own mother, Catherine, who not only accuses his wife, Nicole, of being a scam artist with at least 5 different aliases, but also of brainwashing and drugging him. Take a look.
My husband's mother is insane.
I do not trust my mother, not in her current mental state.
Shortly before Todd and I married, I realized Catherine did not like me. Catherine has made outrageous accusations against me. She accused me of not being an attorney. Catherine says that I am older than I actually am and that I have other children than the children that I have with Todd.
Do yours too, man.
None of it is true. She says that I have multiple identifications, my real name is not Nicole, and that I'm someone else. She also said all of my family at my wedding were fake and they were all actors, which is ridiculous. Catherine has accused me of drugging and brainwashing Ty and holding him hostage.
I can't communicate with you if you believe that I'm under mind control, I'm being kept against my will. What can we talk about?
She's also accused me of defrauding her and she has called the police on me.
These allegations are from beyond left field. They're not even in the ballpark.
Ty's mother has told him to get rid of me if he wants to have a relationship with her. I think there is an Oedipus complex with Catherine and how she views her son, Ty. Catherine hates me because I took Ty, her husband, from her.
Well, if you think being accused of having multiple identities and hiring actors at your wedding is bad enough, Nicole says her mother-in-law, well, she says she has a much more shocking claim.
One of the most outrageous things Catherine has said about me is that I murdered Ty's brother, Michael. Michael was killed in a car accident 7 years ago. Catherine claims that some local politicians devised a conspiracy to infiltrate and harm her family and that they hired me as part of this conspiracy. Based on the witnesses, this was clearly an accident.
That's when the threat started coming out.
I just pray that nobody ever hurts your children because of all of the horrible things she's done.
I stopped talking to my mother because I didn't want to hear the threats that she had towards my kids.
We've moved in the hopes of getting away from Catherine and to make it harder for her to get to us.
I've thought very strongly about filing a restraining order, but what man files a restraining order against his mother?
I don't want my children to ever be around Catherine. I think it is evil what Catherine has done to us.
Well, is this a mother that is just concerned about her son and should be? Have you married the spawn of Satan here?
You know, Dr. Phil, it's so frustrating because I know that I haven't married the spawn of Satan. I'm very happy with the woman that I've chose. We've been going through this for 7 years now, trying to get my mother to understand and just see none of this stuff is true. I've pleaded to every family member, every auntie, uncle, any old friends that she had, anybody that I felt that she might listen to.
Okay, now, Are you brainwashed?
No.
Are
Dr.
you
Phil.
under mind control of this woman sitting next to you?
Not at all.
Now, you're a graduate of West Point,
Yes,
correct?
I am, sir.
You're an engineer.
Yes.
So you're not, like...
I'm not a fool. I'm definitely not a fool, and I'm not someone that can easily be led astray.
Right. Are you afraid of your mother-in-law?
I live with the reality that my mother-in-law is a danger to myself and my children and Ty.
I actually made a list of the security measures, which is sad that you have to do this. But in June 2012, you moved to Northern California just to get away from her threats, right?
Right.
You have to send your mail to a post office box because you say you don't want to give anyone your address, certainly not her. You refuse to provide their address to anyone, including us. And Ty says, we stay prayed up and believe God will protect us, and what God doesn't protect, my 9mm will take care of. Well, hopefully we're not going to get to that point. We can settle all this down. Did you hire actors to come to your wedding?
I did not hire any actors to come to our wedding. All of our guests were either my family or Ty's family. Catherine says that everyone at my wedding, including my mother, were actors.
But how do we know it's really your family?
Well,
Because you have 5 aliases, according to her.
I feel like she lives in a different reality than other people. And
So
I
that
can't
was
get
your
in that
real
reality.
mother and father there?
That was my real mother and father.
Have you seen them since the wedding?
I've seen them before the wedding. I've seen them since the wedding. Yes, that's the same family.
So she either hired them long term
They got a good deal. They got a great contract.
or they're the real
Right.
deal.
And Ty tells his mother that. He says, think about how much this will cost.
Yeah.
You know, this would be millions of dollars.
I guess the only compliment she's ever really paid you is she says you're not really a lawyer.
She...
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But she says you're not really a lawyer.
Catherine says I'm not really an attorney, although I represented her in a lawsuit and we got to the day of trial. So she's seen me in court, she's seen me work for her, and she says I'm not really an attorney.
Now, and I have to say, I've done a lot of stories. This is our 12th season. I think this is the first time I've ever actually had a grandmother on the show that has never even met or seen her grandchildren. And that's the case here, correct?
It's the case, and it's tragic.
We're going to meet Ty's mother and Nicole's mother-in-law next. We're going to find out what she has to say about this. I've always said, no matter how flat you make a pancake, it's got 2 sides. So we're going to hear the other side right after the break.
I believe Nicole is a liar. She has 5 names. The investigator that I hired told me she was a grifter, the type of person that is paid to do scams. I believe this girl actually poisoned my son.
And later, you've
Dr.
blamed
Phil.
Ty, you've blamed
Dr.
Chris,
Phil, you
you've
won't
blamed your
let me
political
speak.
adversaries,
You won't let me
you've
speak,
blamed
Dr.
Nicole,
Phil.
you've
You
blamed
won't let me
yourself.
speak, please.
The last time I spoke to Catherine, she called us up on her home phone, called me a B, only she said the word, and she hung up. I don't know why she did that.
You will respect me enough as a man to not disrespect my wife in my face. My mother's reply to that was, I'll say whatever the I want to say.
Well, Ty says his wife, Nicole, has not spoken to his mother, Catherine, in over 7 years. Here's what Catherine has to say about Nicole, who she refers to as that girl.
Up until the time this girl came into our lives, Ty and I were extremely close. My son has a double degree from West Point in engineering. And once he got with this girl, he's not been an engineer since. I call her this girl because I believe Nicole is a liar. This girl claimed that she was an attorney, but she had nothing to show that she was an attorney. When you type her name up for the bar, it popped up. But when I investigated her, she has 5 names. She has Virginia Nuevo, she has a man's name. The investigator that I hired told me she was a grifter, the type of person that is paid to do scams. She lived with me 10 months. It was a complete disaster. I was the cook for them. I was the maid for them. I even changed their sheets. She would leave body waste from her monthly cycle. all over the house. She would leave nasty soil pads on the doorknobs throughout the house. That scared me. The turning point in my son's behavior was the night I came to see him after he called me crying. He was so sick, he couldn't walk. He couldn't even stand up. He had a temperature of 106. He was totally naked. This girl had a rag just wiping him like she was in a daze. And I could see his urine was orange. I believe this girl actually poisoned my son. On January 14th, 2006, I got a phone call saying that my son, Michael and Chris, had just been in an accident and they thought Michael was dead and that they had rushed Chris to the hospital. I definitely believe my son was murdered. I believe that Nicole was involved with the people who schemed to murder my son. Right now, I've not spoke to Ty face-to-face in 4 years. Ty packed the children up, and moved to Oakland, which is a place he said he would never, ever live. Every conversation that I have with my son is negative, mean, cruel, for no reason. My son acts like he hates me, and I don't know why.
Well, Catherine, it's good to meet you.
Glad to meet you too, Dr. Phil.
First off, let me tell you how sorry I am for your loss.
Thank you.
Of your son. It's a terrible thing. Please accept my condolences for that.
Thank you.
Now, let's fast forward 7 years to where we are today. You've not talked to her in 7 years?
We really never spoke. She lived in my house 10 months, and I believe we had maybe 25 words. She would get on the computer at 7 in the morning, and she wouldn't get off.
Dr. Phil, I never lived with her.
You never lived in my home in Linwood?
We lived in your home, but you did not live there. I'm not gonna sit there and let you lie.
She's a liar, and she's taught you to be a liar. So let's let Dr. Phil do his job.
Okay.
Let's let Dr. Phil do his job. You brought me here.
You can continue to ask the
You brought me here
questions,
because I wanted to come here.
Okay.
So let's the doctor
Let's
do
let the
his
world
job.
know just
So
how
let's-
far you've lost it.
Exactly. Let the audience and Dr. Phil decide how crazy I really am.
You crazy.
Dr. Phil, please continue.
Well, thank you. I believe I will.
Come on, Dr. Phil, so I can really get him.
Get him.
Okay, well, so let's talk about this woman.
Fine.
Here, you call her
This
that
woman,
girl,
yes.
this girl. Because you have a lot of specific allegations of her.
Yes, I
right?
do.
If you look over your shoulder, I made a list. You said she gave Ty psychotropic drugs via his genitals.
That's how I believe she got it into his system because of the color of his urine. When he was sick. See, that some parts are left out. When I went to see, Ty haven't said that he called me at 11 o'clock at night, literally crying, a 30-year-old West Point graduate, literally crying, saying, "Mom, please come. Something's wrong, I don't know what."
Ty had pneumonia, and we went to Kaiser Hospital. She came to the hospital with us.
Yeah.
You took
Okay.
Ty and speeded in the back room.
All
I
right,
never
hold
got
on,
to see
hold on.
where
All
he
right,
was.
you said she also used hoodoo and voodoo
Yes.
on Ty.
Yes.
And that her cell number ends in 666.
And the address where they got married.
So the address where they got married,
666, telephone 666.
she had Ty in a cult.
I believe he's in a cult, the church you go to. Ty told me I would never go back to that church. Mom, it was whacked.
Are you in a cult?
No, I am not in a
No,
cult.
we're not in a cult.
It is a small family church that we
That you
attend.
told me you would never, ever
I
go back to.
never told you I
Pentecostal, the
would
people were
never
crazy.
go.
On my
I never
son's,
told you
on
this.
my dead son's
Don't
spirit.
do that to my brother.
Look,
Don't
look,
you do?
look,
Don't you?
Look,
don't,
see, he's
you
crazy.
you
Never
use
talk
my
like
brother's
this.
death like
Never
a tool,
act like
and
this.
it is
He
so
is-
Look at
because
him.
I'm tired of it.
He is offended at the sensibilities
I'm offended.
of you using his
I am
brother.
offended because that's how serious it is to me. He told me that. That outburst, I've never seen it in my entire life.
You've
I've
never
never
used my
seen
brother's
that
death
in-
as a tool.
that- The problem is, you know what you and Nicole did.
You said she was a spy. You said that Nicole is not her real name, that she's older, that she has more children than the two with Ty, that she is not an attorney, that she is connected to people
And I stand by everything I've said.
who,
and I can
who
back
killed
it up.
who killed Michael. that he is in danger, so you sent the black Muslims to rescue him?
Why is it a Muslim can't be black? What's the big thing about a black Muslim? Why
it's
they
two
have
different
all
sects.
color racism?
It's two different
right,
sects.
and your wife deals with the worst of them.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
The worst of them.
All right, and you said that she was a plant during your political campaign.
Exactly. Let me explain it?
Weren't you running for city council?
Yes, I was.
In Linwood, California?
Yes.
An unincorporated city.
How many votes did you get?
Not a real city.
I don't remember.
Did you get 265?
No.
Did you come in
remember.
9th out of 12?
I have no idea. I don't remember. Okay, I was given the Democratic endorsement, and then she came along and told Ty that your mother should not accept this endorsement. I said, Ty, it's too late. They've given me too many endorsements. I can't back out now.
I mean, isn't that a little bit of intrigue for a city council in an unincorporated city?
Not in my neighborhood where $7 million is missing. Not in my neighborhood.
$7 million is small money compared to the money that it would take to put together this diabolical plot that you have dreamed up. The campaign.
I ran for office twice while he was at West Point.
Okay, you're not running now. Talk to me. What are you talking to them for?
Because I did not, because those are women. Those are women. That's why. Those are women.
Did you win when you ran?
I'll come out here with y'all. Maybe she'll talk to me.
I didn't need
you still haven't won.
Okay, Dr. Phil, come on. Let's finish. Let's go down. Come on, let's finish.
Let's take a break. Catherine hired a private investigator. Now, she's reached out to President Obama and Hillary Clinton and has gone to great lengths in search of the truth about this woman that she says is involved in the death of her son. We're going to find out how that happened when we come back.
My mother blamed everybody for the accident. She blamed my father and I for both not being there when she purchased the car that Michael was allegedly speeding in. She blamed the politicians from her election. It wasn't until a little bit afterwards that she started blaming Nicole.
I totally believe that she is connected to the people that were involved in killing my son.
And later, you said you have been followed, threatened, humiliated, and called an informant, drug dealer, harassed at my job in both of my homes. When I threatened to go to the police, I was warned that my oldest would also be killed.
You didn't know that, huh?
No.
I ran for city council 3 times for the city of Linwood. I became involved in the city because my sons were growing up. The city was dangerous. I know for a fact Nicole was undermining my campaign. I believe that Nicole was passing on my strategy, everything I was doing, to my opponents. Ultimately, I lost the election. I partly blame Nicole for that loss. Nicole, or this girl, whoever she is, she comes from somewhat of a political background. Her brother Jason was a city councilman in Oakland, and her sister ran for mayor, but she lost in 2010. I found out that Nicole's younger brother had been shot in the head, mafia style. Her other brother, Jason, who was a city council person in Oakland, was found dead in his apartment, foaming from the mouth.
I mean, she keeps talking about he was killed. Why are you saying he was killed when all we know is that he died? But when she says stuff like that, it shows that she has complete lack of compassion, which then makes me believe she's just evil.
I want you, without rambling to 100 different things, tell me the basis for you saying that the mother of your grandchildren, the wife of your son, your daughter-in-law, was in collusion with your political adversaries to murder your son. That is a very serious allegation.
The people that was responsible for my son's death, she was involved with those people. Yes, I said that, and I stand by that.
Okay, well, first off, before
let me tell you,
what do you say about that, Nicole?
No, I didn't have anything to do with
you're not involved in the murder of your brother-in-law?
No, not at all.
So why would your political adversaries want to murder your son?
Well, because when I ran for office, our city, if you looked up the city, they had a lot of corruption. And I had promised my constituents in the city I would never steal money and that I would make a particular entity in the city. We had given them $7 million, I would get it back.
Why?
That's what got my son.
The accident
I said, I'll
happened
go take
after
it
she had lost the election.
So you think she got involved with these people?
I think she was. I think they sent her to us.
Supposedly, she's involved because a college professor that she had in 1995 is
A
now
radical Muslim.
in cahoots with the people who she's accusing of stealing money, and said, well, she was in our class. Let's see if we can get her, go to Tahoe, go to his cabin and meet him,
I love
put
it.
something in him to
I love
brainwash him.
I love it. Now,
And
No, let him finish.
My brother passed in a car accident. So supposedly, in my mother's world, these same people paid somebody to cause an accident.
How fast was your brother driving when this accident happened?
I hear
According to the police reports.
I hear that he was speeding. I've never read the police
The
report.
witnesses said he was going at least 90.
I want to take a list of everybody that you have blamed for your son's death. You know, first you said...
can't say names, right?
You said Ty should have taken Michael and Christopher skiing that weekend and should have helped her pick out a car that wasn't so fast. So you blamed Michael's father. You said Michael learned to drive fast from him.
No, this is what they're saying.
Christopher, because he was probably acting crazy in the car while Michael was driving. Did you say Mexicans cut Michael off the road?
A Mexican man whom I investigated, whom has many LLCs, who had a business in Oakland. He ran Michael off the road, and in the police report, he said he was a bishop. Not a bishop. Used to have a business in Linwood. Yeah, too many connections. Too many
Then
connections.
you say people from her campaign upset over things she knew about them.
I don't know about that.
Then you said Nicole, who allegedly leaked confidential campaign information to your political adversaries,
now let me
who then chased down Michael and caused the accident.
No, I didn't say that. That's their words. That is their words. I told you exactly what I said. But let me go back
You said,
why...
quote, the man in an email to the show. You said, I would like to confront the man that caused the accident that killed my son.
I can't say his name, but I sure would.
And then you actually sent us another email where you said, I made some mistakes that caused my 19-year-old to get killed.
I made some mistakes. Trusting people, allowing people to come into my home that I didn't know.
You need to deal with that guilt.
But let me go back to why...
But you've blamed Ty, you've blamed Chris, you've blamed your political adversaries, you've blamed Nicole, you've blamed yourself.
Let me speak, please, please. The reason why I said that she had something to do with it is because not 3 months after the election was over, Ty came to me and said, well, you know, I'm thinking about running for city council. I said, you're going to have to deal with the same people that you said was no good that I had to deal with.
I did. I was ready to move.
On my son's
once again,
because it's not funny.
I want to
That's
run.
why I know something's wrong with you.
I didn't even want to help you with your campaign.
That's why I know something's wrong with you.
Why would I want to run for city council?
Look how you talking.
Why would I want to run for city council?
That's what you told me, Ty.
You know,
you said I'm thinking about putting my hat in the ring.
Then you sent a letter to President Obama.
Right.
Like you don't have enough to deal with.
You sent a letter to Obama. And later...
You've been in Oakland 2 weeks and you're running for school board. You wanted to be in politics. You wanted to be in politics, but you wouldn't wait your turn. I had built you up. I had built him up in the city.
It comes back to her. You see that?
No.
You have been on a search for the truth here.
Yes.
You've written some letters. You've hired an investigator to look into Nicole's background. In August of 2012, you sent a letter to your state representative.
Yes, I did.
And in this letter, you said, during my campaign, a young woman who was dating my oldest son named Nicole, claiming to be an attorney, moved into my home, drugged us, and sabotaged my campaign.
For some reason, I was saying things that I would never say, like private things from the past. I'm not sure. You know, I'm like, when all of a sudden you're like, wow, why did I say that? So I'm thinking maybe I know she drugged him, so I'm thinking she might have drugged the food. She was in the house.
You don't know she drugged him. You said you have been followed, threatened, humiliated, and called an informant, drug dealer, harassed at my job in both of my homes. When I threatened to go to the police, I was warned that my oldest would also be killed.
You didn't know that, huh?
No, I don't know who you deal with.
Who was it that
and
threatened?
why am I not dead yet?
Who was doing these things to you?
This is, I had people, police following me. I had her family. I had like 3 of her people. One of them came to my house, and then I had one follow me into the Social Security office. And what they do, they make remarks. They stand next to me and say, well, you know, your oldest son, are you married? Do you have kids? People just don't strike up conversations. That makes you suspicious right then and there, when people strike up conversations with you. Really, for no reason why.
Hold on, search for the truth. You then wrote the Bar Association, and to the Bar Association, you said, this letter is in reference to an attorney going by the name of Nicole. This woman is a fraud, dangerous, and should be prosecuted and sent to jail. I'm suspicious of her, so I hired a private investigator who found that she is not an attorney and is using someone with the same name. She is also using aliases.
What, her bar license, the Social Security number on her bar license is another one. I called the lady, I spoke with her after the detective gave me the information. How many names do you have? Are you born in June, September, or November? Are you born in 71, 70, or 75 or 76?
I can't get into your reality. It's
yeah,
not real.
I guess you can.
Okay, so you wrote this letter to the Bar Association. Then you sent a letter to President Obama.
Right.
Like you don't have enough to deal with.
And you said, could you please ask Linda Sanchez and Hillary Clinton why their subordinates killed my son Michael and seriously injured my son Christopher? These people have killed my son by setting him up in a car accident due to his past driving record. Okay, why did you write to President Obama?
Because I just wanted some help. I just started writing everywhere because I wanted some answers and I wanted some help. No.
So you thought he would call Linda Sanchez and Hillary Clinton?
No, but I was going to get it going. I knew I couldn't get to the president, but I knew if I write to enough people on Dr. Phil.
Yes, you are.
And that's your doing, right?
No, that's your doing.
Yes, you are.
I pushed you to do it.
You pushed me to do it.
That's right.
You pushed me to do it
I'm
because
smarter
you
than
need help. You need help. And luckily, I'm still concerned enough about you to try to do something to get you help.
What kind of help do I need?
You need somebody to help you deal with your grief.
What?
Because you feel grief and guilt over Michael's passing.
I'm
and unfortunately,
always feel, because I trusted her to come into my house.
The only change that has happened has been me marrying Nicole. So you've attached every ill that happens to Nicole.
In your mind?
No, in your voicemails. Everything like you just said, it's that girl's fault. She did this. She even drugged you, but according to you a few seconds ago, all she did when she was there is get on the computer.
She had access to my house, she had access to my refrigerator, she had access to my food.
Hang on. Ty and Nicole admit Catherine has never met their 2 grandchildren, who are 5 years old and 3 years old. We'll talk more about that next.
One of my mother's favorite sayings growing up was, I don't get mad, I get even.
I'll do whatever I have to do to protect my family.
Catherine believes that her daughter-in-law, Nicole, caused the death of one of her sons 7 years ago. Nicole and Ty not only deny that claim, but Ty says his mother's comment to his wife that she wanted her to feel what it would be like to lose a child was a huge red flag to them. Now, you're shaking your head like you didn't do that?
Never.
Well, interestingly enough, she left a veiled threat about the fate of their children in a voicemail, and we have the voicemail.
He said he was going into politics, and this is what I said.
I saw a beautiful picture of preschool. I just pray that nobody ever hurts your children because of all the people your wife's been set up and because of all of the horrible things she's done. I just pray your kids don't fall like her brother fell because of the things she's done. Now, Nicole, take that. Is that good? Was that good? Now, let her think about that. Kids are a blessing. Well, I hope that's still happens to your kids because of all the things she's done for other people. Like you called your brother. Bam! Now, Nicole, you want to bring up kids? Let's bring up how you caused your brother to be killed. Both her brothers would do it if they were even her brothers. I don't even think those are her brothers. She looks completely different from that so-called brother and sister, don't she? Show was nothing like her. Now, that's a made-up name. That's not even her name. That's a made-up name.
You say that's not you?
No, some of that wasn't me. The beginning was. I couldn't even hear all the things
You
that
didn't
were
know
saying.
that your phone was still recording.
Would you like me to play it again?
You're talking to whoever
I
you're talking
couldn't
to
care
in the
less.
car.
Would you like me to play it? Would you like me to play it again?
Yeah, I couldn't care less. No, Dr. Phil, it's fine. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less because what I said was true. You got to Oakland and called in 2 weeks. I'm running for office. I said, how are you running for office?
Called you?
You called your father and told him, I'm running for school board. You've been in Oakland 2 weeks and you're running for school board? You wanted to be in politics.
I did not want to
You
be in
wanted to be in politics, but you wouldn't wait your turn. I had built you up. I had built him up in the city.
It comes back to her. You see that?
No,
you see that?
But you wouldn't wait your turn.
That's
but you
the
wouldn't
whole
wait your
Michael
turn.
Corleone.
She wanted you to be in politics so bad.
That she got in her head.
She wanted you to be in politics.
It's the family.
She wanted you to be in politics so bad.
My wife wanted me to be in politics.
Oh yes, because her brother and her sister was in politics.
Okay, well, first off, we need to...
You're a liar. You was never a liar.
Hold on.
I'm still not a liar.
You was never
I'm
a
still
liar.
not a liar. It's been ingrained in me not to lie because of the school that I went to. So don't
never
accuse me of
been
being
a
a liar
liar.
because you're
You've
confused
that's
and
why
full of pain.
Something's wrong.
You're confused and full. You just said that's not even your voice
so
on your voicemail.
It didn't sound like.
Oh,
I'm
God.
so full of pain until
You're so full
I'm
of pain.
able to survive.
But
I work every
you're
day.
living in this fictional world that's driving you crazy and everybody else.
Really?
Because all of your siblings, all of your sisters, your mother's crazy. We can't do nothing with her.
If I may step in here.
I'm sorry, Dr. Phil.
Did you say that wasn't you through all of that voicemail?
It didn't sound like the end of it. I don't know. But I stand by whatever I said.
So that was you?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely said that.
Just wanted to be clear. All right, next, is there any validity to Catherine's claim that Nicole is not an attorney and uses aliases? We brought in an experienced private investigator to get some answers to these accusations and other claims. We'll talk about that when we come back. Now, you hired a private investigator to check her out.
Yes.
And
I went along with what he found.
Well, we did a little checking as well. You say that Nicole is not her name and she uses aliases, correct?
That's one of her names. That's what the private investigator told me.
Well, we have a private investigator, Doug Kane, and he found Nicole is her legal name and she has no alias.
Well, you have my documents.
You said that she is older than she says. She is indeed 37 years old.
How many birthdays does she have, Dr. Phil?
How many birthdays?
You said that she is not an attorney. She has a law degree, and the California Bar Association has her listed as active.
Active, but is it her?
Yes, they take your fingerprints.
Dr. Phil, her Social Security number on that bar, actually she has 3 Social Security numbers. Did you find that?
No.
Okay, she has 3. I gave them to you.
You said, quote, the seat was mine in the 2005 Linwood City Council race, if not for Nicole.
Right.
But you came in 9th out of 12. You said you lost because of her, that she sabotaged you.
Exactly.
She gave your strategy to your political adversaries.
Well, she caused chaos.
The other 11 of them.
She caused chaos, and I end up getting very upset and made a bunch of remarks maybe I shouldn't have made.
Well,
Dr. Phil,
our private investigator is right here, Doug Kane.
Hi, Doug.
He's private investigator and president of Risk Control Strategies. Doug has worked with us before. Hello, Doug. How are you?
I'm good, Dr. Phil.
They don't put Social Security numbers on the bar website.
No, they certainly don't.
No, they don't. They don't. That's why the private investigator he was a retired FBI officer, he told me, and he said he had to use some connections to get this information.
Did you check that out? You checked out everything else. Did you check out who this person was?
I went through the yellow pages and found an investigative company, and I used them.
All right, well, we gave that information,
to Doug,
which you gave to us, which we gave to Mr. Kane. You looked at what she had been provided.
Without a doubt, Nicole is who she says she is. She doesn't have an alias. She has 1 Social Security number. She is a member of the California Bar. We know that. We validated that. I think where the confusion lies is there are other people with her same name. And because they're similar names, they have different social security numbers, different dates of birth. And that was what your report reflected.
This is not the only Nicole out there. And so you got information on other people. And you decided it was about her.
Well, I could never even find out if it was true or not, because at that point, he wasn't talking to me.
Does it seem to you to be of grandiose proportion to come up with a conspiracy theory that you were sabotaged in this race for the city council seat? You came in 9th out of 12.
That was the result of me cussing out some people in Las Vegas.
Good.
And that's our fault.
Glad
That's
to hear
our
it. But that doesn't have anything to do with her. We've got to take a break. People at home are blowing up our Twitter accounts. Linda Jajenko says, Ma, you need to step aside and let these people live their life. Helen Luss, 1957, says it's hard to respect someone
Her friends are tweeting now. Oh!
who is constantly disrespectful to you.
Do you think that bring me on national TV is going to change what I know?
This is exactly why.
Well, I
and this
mean,
is why
we
I
did.
I
told you.
certainly hope so. We're going to come back, and I'm going to do some talking. And I promise you I can handle the floor. We'll be right back. I'm trying to give you a reality check. I think that you have gotten so caught up where one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you have constructed this belief system that just simply...
I'm sorry, I can't allow you to say that I'm hallucinating.
I'm not saying you are delusional. I'm saying that you got caught up in a situation where you have lost objectivity. And today, I hope that you go, well, okay, you know, maybe things aren't as bad as I thought they were, and maybe I can stand down and take a deep breath here and maybe begin to fashion a relationship with my son and his wife and have some opportunity to meet these grandchildren and have the joy that comes from having the grandchildren in your life.
I'm all for that.
That's what I want to do. But I think you need some help to work this out, to sort out what's right and what's not right. And I'm willing to arrange that for you, just as our gift to you.
They're fine. They don't need any help.
Why do you care about that if what I'm trying to do is get you in a position where you can find out? I'm offering you help. They're not your job. You're your job.
I want help.
You don't want it? Say so.
No.
Listen, I got a hell of a lot else to do.
I want help because I want to be in my son's life and in his children's life.
And
If you
this
want
is
to
why
be in my
I came
life,
here.
The only thing I've ever asked you to do is to show me the respect of a husband. Do not disrespect my wife in front of me. Do not call her.
When did I? I don't see you.
When did you? Before we moved out. When you decided after we came, 2 weeks after we came back from our honeymoon, you decided, well, I'm gonna go stay in Linwood. You told my father, I'm about to go ruin this marriage. And you came down there every night I came home. You wanted to be.
When you
Let me
came and
finish.
picked up $600
You wanted to be
worth of Christmas
on
gifts,
the phone.
what did I say? When you
wanted to
came
be
and
on the
picked up
phone.
$600
You wanted to call my wife out of her name.
Christmas
You
gifts,
went and talked to my friend in Texas.
$600 worth of
And
Christmas
this
gifts.
is exactly why I
And
haven't
what did I
accepted
say?
This is exactly
What did
why I
I say
haven't
to you?
accepted another
When
gift
you
from you.
came to pick up the gifts, I said, I love you and I
This
want you to be
exactly
happy.
why
And
I
I
haven't.
sent you out my door.
Exactly why I haven't taken another gift
Okay, I
from
have
you.
one last question for
Yes, Dr. Phil.
you. How's this working for you?
It's not. Do something different. Insane.
Then that's why I'm saying, let me get you some help. And believe you me, this help's gonna involve him. You asked, is it just me? Like, am I crazy? You're gonna fix me and they're fine? No, no, no. This is going to have to be brokered between the two of you. Will you let me help you in that way?
Yes, definitely.
That would make you happy?
Very happy.
Okay, do we have a deal?
We have a deal.
Bones, can we escort Catherine off here? We're gonna be done here. We are going to follow up here, and we're going to try to get some help here. And there may be a point at which we say that this counselor may say, would y'all come in for a joint session? But that's going to be a fair ways down the road here.
Exactly.
Okay? And you have the patience of a saint. Okay? All right, thank you. I want to thank all of my guests today, drphil.com. So long.